Nicholas Godejohn, I am done. Bye, my love. You say you need me, but you broke us off, so I cut myself off, because if you don't stop me in time, because without you I'm nothing. Gypsy, are you threatening to kill yourself? You can't. Nicholas said, why, Gypsy? Because if you do it, then I'll do it as well. Nicholas, then come back before I do it, because you know I always back up my words. Gypsy, no, please, please don't do it. I love you, please. Gypsy, I want to do it, but I'm bad for you. Gypsy said, stay with me, please. Nicholas, I'm about to put the blade on my wrist and let it bleed if you don't come back within the next 3 minutes. Gypsy said, I'm here, my love, I'm back, okay? These are the text messages from May 27, 2015 between Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Rose. The pink one is Gypsy, and the other one is Nicholas Godejohn. Let's get into it. So Gypsy said, from the beginning, what was it for, hon? Then he said, oh, that was my evil side who did that, you know. My good side would never call you that, hon. Maybe a bitch, but you're being one, but that's all, hon. He said, well, it's all true, hon, and it was about voices in my head, but instead of getting rid of them, they became part of me, baby. He said, how it works is based on my thoughts and feelings, dear. Depends on what part of me shows up, honey. Gypsy said, oh, I understand, okay, honey, but that don't mean I don't understand you. Gypsy said, I do. Nick, well, maybe after I explained, if you understand, sweetie. Otherwise, no one else understands, honey. Well, Gypsy, I do understand. Oh, yet I know you understand me in different ways. Nicholas said, well, we are supposed to understand each other if we just know how to express each other, dear. Gypsy, well, sometimes I'm too expressive. Nicholas, well, not really, because expression involves detail, and you know I'm better at that, honey. Gypsy said, yes, you are, but I want everything I do too. And Nicholas, what do you mean? What do you mean, Gypsy? Well, everything you want, I want it too. To be together. Nicholas, honey, this is where we are different, though. I don't just want everything with you, but I need everything with you for me to feel complete, sweetheart. Oh, I need you too, Nicholas. Promise me the good part of you will never die. But I'm something I cannot read too. Nicholas, really, dear, because at times I wonder if you need me. He said, baby, I could never die. Gypsy said, I do need you. It kills me when you have these ups and downs. Nicholas said, honey, you would not mind using a sweet name every once in a while that helps me. Remember, to help me remember that I am worshipped. Oh, sure, sweetie. That's better, dear, Nicholas said. Gypsy, well, it's not that I don't worship you. I do, and I look forward to being with you. I'm just dealing with everything changing, honey. Nicholas said, about you are exactly what changes there? Gypsy explained. Well, the changes that are coming. Oh, I'm so scared, Nicholas. Nicholas said, scared of what, my love? Gypsy, of everything. I'm not good with changes, dear. Nicholas said, everything, sweetheart. We both have that in common. When it has to do with moving, dear. Gypsy said, I'm gonna be okay. I just need time to calm down and take a breath, okay? But darling, my feelings for you will never change. I am yours, and I know that you do make me happy, Nicholas said. I hope they never change because, oh, you scare me at times, dear. So clearly, Gypsy is scaring Nick at times. Wow, very interesting. I hope so, honey, because I put my mind, heart, and soul into being with you and making you happy, my dear Gypsy. And then she said, my feelings won't change, though I have freak outs. Gypsy has freak outs. I always come back to you, my love. I'm so sorry, and I'm so scared of you. Oh, I'll give you lots of love in the hotel, baby. Well, that's very reassuring. I needed that. And then he said, after doing what my evil side said, huh? Gypsy said, I reassured you too, huh? Oh, yes, baby, she said. And then Nicholas said, okay, baby. Gypsy said, you said, don't let anything in our way. Gypsy said, I wore myself out on being emotional. He said, oh, well, it's true. I'm guessing you have a correlation to that when I said it, dear. Nicholas said, yeah, it's true, dear. I'm guessing you have a correlation to that when I said it, dear. Gypsy said, sorry, but I cannot read it. And then Nicholas said, I thought you did, dear. Gypsy, I hope you feel better now. Honey, 'cause I do feel better. Nicholas said, I just need to be reassured, honey. I'm sensing a bit of a lack of self-confidence, needing constant reassurance of Gypsy, and then when she does not give it to him, he needs to have some boost of confidence from her. That's what I get out of it. I'm not a psychologist or anything, just so take my words with a grain of salt, will ya? Okay, darling. Well, I love, adore, and worship you, my everything, and I'm not giving up on us. XOXO. And then he said, well, that's music to my ears, sweetie. Big smile from me, Gypsy. And then Nicholas said, dear, will there be less of these freakouts in person? Nicholas is fearing her freakouts. She has a bit of an evil side as well. Not only Nicholas, it seems, Gypsy said. Yes, darling. When we are together, I will be more relaxed. Oh, you just need to wait. And Gypsy said, mostly because we can't use hugs and kisses and body language to prevent it. That is a very childish way of thinking that being together will solve your problems, but instead, most of the time, being together will only cause more problems because then you have to deal with each other's freakouts more often. And then Nicholas said, true, yeah. And you know what? Sex will relieve us of all the stress, darling. Well, Gypsy said, LOL. That's nice too. I guess that's what it says. I couldn't really read it. Nicholas said, yes, dear. Gypsy, a lot of our problems are because we don't have a physical relationship, but oh, it is so hard, honey. And then he said, well, yeah, that's true. I suppose most of our problems are physical related, dear. Well, that's very interesting. And Gypsy said, and I want to know if you want to be with me. I will be much better, sweetie. Oh, wait a minute. I will reread that because you cannot take anything out of context. And I want to know, being with me won't be hell. It will be much better, sweetie. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, because you have clearly sent him to hell, haven't you? When exactly, dear? Since you caught me confused. I don't know what that says. Gypsy. Well, I'm gonna start now, but I'll be all the way better when we see each other, hon, he said. All right, dear, Gypsy. Do I make you happy? Nicholas said. When you don't, you have your freakouts. Yes, dear. You have a lot of freakouts. Maybe you might like me better in person, Gypsy said. By the way, I'm afraid of boys. So you know, I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but I mean, it is sometimes very unclear, so... Oh, bugs, yeah, bugs. Bugs, dear, he said. Well, dear, there is no reason for that, and you know I will worship you either way in person or from afar. Gypsy said, I am just letting you know my phobia, and it's bugs and spiders. I always feel like crap after I freak out because you're caught in the middle. Well, he is not in the middle, he is on the other side because there's only two of you, so there cannot be a middle. I can't stay even an hour away from me. I can stay even an hour away from me, alright? And then he said, and spiders, that's also something harmless to you most of the time, honey. He said, it is meant to be that way, so, though there, Gypsy said, oh, it just freaks me out. And then she said, so, you take your little creepy bug friends and escort them out of the house. He said, exactly, dear, that's what I will do. And don't worry about bugs, they are harmless, honey, she said. So, we're all good, sweetheart. He said, yes, hon, it's just your freakouts that scare me, honey. We have that in common, she said, 'cause you're a freak. A freaky little freak, he said. Well, of course we do, dear. And then the next day, May 28th, Gypsy said, at approximately 12:44 a.m., we are all lovely again, my cutie pie. He said, yeah, that's great news, my love. Gypsy said, oh, my dear, meet me on Facebook, my love, so you can see that a lot of conversations were happening outside of text messaging. So that's why sometimes we don't have a clear context of these conversations, since they also talked by video call. Honey, I'm glad you picked up on that reference. LOL, nice job, Gypsy said. Nick said, I knew you would catch on to it, dear. Gypsy, darling, will you tell me the movie you want to watch with me yet? He said, oh, that's the same one. But I have as a surprise. No, dear, there's a surprise. Oh, really? LOL. Oh my god. Do you have it? Please keep in mind, her mother was perfectly alive during these conversations. They could have made another escape plan by simply disappearing. Right? You can just go and disappear. Take the money and leave. That's what you wanted in the first place, right? But no. That's not the answer. Okay, no, but well. We'll buy it together, sweetie, Gypsy said. Okay, hon. Oh, I'd show it on YouTube or the clip on the TV show. Would you tell me if you would watch it with me, honey? We'll have to see the clip first, dear, he said. May 29th. Hi, handsome. Hi, gorgeous. Gypsy said, drool makes you horny. LOL. You're weird. He said, baby, you will understand when you experience it. Gypsy said, darling, I am safe. Gypsy said, long story about tornado warning was issued. He said, oh, that's good news, honey. Gypsy said, darling, can you please meet me online We need to talk about our plan. Yes, that's what we will do. The plan is what we are going to talk about. He said, okay, honey, Gypsy, I am still daddy's girl. Hold me. And yes, it is Kitty. Kitty's daddy. Wow, he said. Yo, baby, why don't you answer daddy before, as I told you? My sweet little cutie pie, she said. I was talking, daddy. Oh, makes me feel better, so I put my phone down. Alright, Saturday, May 30th, 2015. Nicholas starts off the conversation by saying, okay, honey, just never change, okay? Never change on daddy because I never want you to do or be anything but daddy's everything as I rock you back and forth in my arms on my lap. Alright, do we have an understanding? Well, I'm not asking you, I am telling you, alright? Gypsy said. Oh no, I won't change, daddy. Something I cannot read, and then it goes into your something and cuddle. Okay, and then Nick said, I keep rocking you back and forth in my arms, my lap. Are you my same daddy's girl that I remember you of being in the past there? Gypsy said. Then they started this, probably on the phone, because in here it ends, and then next one. At 3:30 p.m., Gypsy said, hi, baby. Darling, does your house have any kind of car, I think? I cannot read it. I'm looking on Google Maps. Yeah, she's trying to find his house. Nicholas said, dear, it depends on how updated these road maps is. Last time I checked, it wasn't the right vehicle. Gypsy said, wow, it's a small place. LOL. Nicholas, yes, it is a small place. I do agree. Gypsy said, I looked at the population and it's smaller than the smallest town I have ever lived in. I thought 7,000 was small. Nicholas said, like I said, it used to be a village, but it is a town now. Oh, okay, Gypsy said. I'll adjust then, she said. Besides, smaller is less trouble because, the trouble we will be causing is, well. Okay, Nicholas said, I hope so, because it should be easier. Yeah, that should be easier. And then Gypsy said, are you ready? Oh, I'm ready in always, honey. Like in always, honey, she said. Nicholas said, what do you mean, dear? I really cannot understand your silly ways. Sometimes Gypsy said, well, ready for me, of course, silly, he said. If I wasn't so eager to be living with you, what do you think? She said. Well, I was supposed to get pregnant in a week and a half. Okay, honey, he said, so what are you saying? She said, I just feel sad. He said, oh, I see, honey. She said, well, that was, of course, plan A, to get pregnant, and then to go about their business, being pregnant and together. But part of me is really worried about my tube. She said, what if I could have it taken out being pregnant? He said, you say you would have it taken out, she said. Could you wait like 10 months for plan B? Clearly discussing the plans to get out of this situation. Nicholas said, so you want me to get you pregnant again? She said, I'm getting it changed, honey. He said, oh, because for a second I thought you wanted me to get you pregnant again, honey. She said, oh, I was wondering, does Big Bend have a hospital? Because I'm late on my period. He said, no. Okay, he said. Gypsy, oh, gotcha. Nicholas, and then again. Some over here. Let's move to Milwaukee, she said. We can stay with your mom for a while. He said, Milwaukee, I'd rather live in Waukesha, honey. She said, okay, darling, we can look up apartments in Waukesha. Clearly having serious plans of being together at all costs. She said, and with the 5,000 that I have, we will be set. That's very immature thinking, that with $5,000 you will be set. It is nearly enough to support you for, I don't know, not even a year. So, well, okay. Good idea, dear. I don't need to marry you to live with you, Gypsy said, so we can make our time with the wedding, she said. I saw Waukesha looks beautiful, she said, and I can paint and sell my art. Oh, Gypsy has art. That is interesting. I didn't know that. And then he said, dear, I know that, but you mean our 5,000, baby? She said, yes, our darling, Gypsy said, and who knows, maybe after a while we can have a ceremony like a wedding, honey. You would make a handsome groom. And then he said, and we will live in my birth city, hon. Well, hopefully live close to Woodman so we get our groceries extremely cheap, honey. She said, Waukesha would be a dream come true, sweetheart. I'll leave some of the sweethearts and dares out, because it's like in every single text. Honey, we are still going to follow our kinds of traditions, though, dear, Nicholas said. She said, of course, honey. Nicholas, I look forward to it, my dear, Gypsy said. I look forward to it. She said, I dream about it. You know what I dream about? Well, and that we have oral sex. How about that? Nicholas said, maybe so, but I look forward to kissing you, he said. So I will do it from afar. I really cannot tell what it says. Gypsy blushes. He said, well, that's true, dear, Gypsy said. Will you give me my first orgasm soon, my love? Will you finger me on the bus? I desire pleasure too, honey. He said, maybe naughty on the bus I will, but just depends on the moment. It depends on how naughty, honey, Gypsy said. Well, I'm going to touch my, you know what? I guess that's what it says. You can just imagine. If you like, Gypsy said, and I'm gonna kiss you too everywhere. He said, dear, I may give you permission to. Gypsy said, good, darling. Nicholas said, as for the kissing, you know you can do that on my body, sweetie. Gypsy said, the first I want to watch with you is 50 Shades of Grey. I also think we should start with soft, wet anal sex before big time anal. Gypsy said, let's talk on Facebook. Meet me there, you horny little... Yeah. Alright, next. I'll watch that with you to get us in the mood. Watch, which depends on the time. I could be after movie, dear. Sorry. As for anal, Nick said, don't worry about that, because that's my job as your master, dear. Yes, that's what he is, right? Gypsy said, you make my girly pants tingle. He said, I'm glad because I'm supposed to do that. Gypsy said, I'm thinking about you in a naughty way. Yeah, that's good. Very good. I love that. Then, May 31, 2015. We continued the day with Gypsy. You're a great daddy, and thank you for doing the worst for the best of us. Alright, that's interesting. Like, doing the worst. What is the worst? I wonder. Nicholas said, You're welcome, dear. Gypsy, looking at your movie likes and the music, we could be more yeah, something I cannot read. Gypsy said, I like country. Gypsy continued, I like drama, like comedy. Goodness, this is artwork. Well, I explained my interests. Nicholas said, These are just a few, hon. I do like, I cannot read what he likes, she likes. Nicholas said, We have more in common than you think. Gypsy said, Darling, please read what I said. He said, Okay. Sometimes it is unclear who here is the master. Is it him or her? Good morning, my love, my life. You know what? I'm gonna start wearing a ring because I want to feel married to you. So, one of my rings from the gurney shop. You know what is interesting is that this is not something that came out of the blue. This is plotted for months, if not, I don't know how long. Because since she has tried it before by herself. So it's not like an accident, you know. Okay, honey, he said. I'm sorry I didn't answer till now. Gypsy said, Well, I need to tell you a secret, honey. Oh, go ahead, he said. Well, Gypsy said, I never stopped sucking from a baby bottle. He said, Baby, I already knew that. Gypsy said, You know. Gypsy said, How? Baby, he said, Seriously? Do you understand that I am with you spiritually? I experience everything with you, dear. That is why there is no point in hiding things from me. Gypsy, oh, okay, hon. But are you with me when I'm naked? You naughty, naughty little witch, she said. I'm going to church, hon. He said, Okay, hon, and I am with you at all times. She said, Darling, I'm 100% in with the plan. You know what I mean? Are you even aware, Nicholas? We have a plan that we need to get into as soon as possible. But he says, What do you mean, darling? What plan are you talking about? Well, Gypsy said, and this is from 7:30. Just looking at the timestamp. About less than half an hour later, she said, I'm in for it, hon. Maybe she has deleted some texts, having that inner feeling that what she was doing was wrong. Or maybe she continued the conversation elsewhere, but there was a plan here, very clearly. Gypsy said, No doubt. Nicholas said, Okay, darling. Gypsy said, That's all. That's all. You're dismissed. Gypsy said, I was expecting, I don't know, joy, I guess. Nicholas said, Dear, of course I'm happy. Gypsy said, Okay, good, sweetie. What's your stepdad's name, just so I know? Nicholas said, Charlie. That is what it is, honey. Gypsy said, Oh, okay, that's cool, thank you. Nicholas, okay, darling. Gypsy, please be online at 9:45, and indeed he was online. Okay, darling. Being online means not in text messages, obviously. Monday, June 1st. So, you won't end this? Nicholas said. I'm not saying anything. Beside, it is a waste of time. Gypsy said, get your ass back here now, you piece of... Oh my god, if you don't get back here, my evil side will come and tear your ass apart, Nicholas. She said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna rip you a new one. How about that, master? Nicholas said, that's not worth it. Always fight for us. Oh, it's your turn for once. Gypsy said, me? How? How the hell am I going to fight? It is once died. Huh. Gypsy said, what will I wear to impress your folks? For your information, that little freak out happened an hour ago. And then they are back on what they're going to wear with their folks. Gypsy said, I'm going to wear it, goddammit. You master, you're my fucking slave. Do you understand that, Nicholas? Nicholas said, I told you. I'll let you know in person. Why do you say it that way? Gypsy said, haha, me again, I'm sorry. Sorry, baby, it's me. I'm sorry, my love. Oh dear, you scare me. Oh my god. Nicholas said, another scare. Gypsy said, okay, well, good night. Gypsy said, I don't know what's wrong with me. Do you know? Nicholas said, come on, baby. I know you can bond with me better than that. I love, adore, and worship you, my dear true love. Gypsy said, I just did it at the same time. I didn't mean it when I called a life with you trash. Clearly having a conversation somewhere else or deleting text messages. But I wonder, maybe isn't the police able to retrieve deleted text messages? Please fill me in, leave a comment. What do you think? If you're entertained, well, it's not really good entertainment when the end is so horrible. Nicholas said, dear, it is about the sex, alright? It's about the sex, like I told you before. This is what's going to solve the problem. The sooner I give you an orgasm, the sooner you'll go back to your lovely, dovey, happy self, honey. He said, but I just said, back to you, sweetie. Please say it back, sweetie. Gypsy said, so sex is like tranquilizer, I guess that's what it says. Nicholas said, baby, someday you'll know how important it is in our life. She said, just forget it. All I said tonight. He said, why do you say that, Gypsy? I never meant anything. I am in self-destruction mode. Well, isn't that interesting? When I'm done with that, please ignore me. Or when I am like that, she is a bit of a character. He said, well, I could do is hope you come back, honey. Well, she said, I want to be with you. I wonder, does prison help or worsen these characteristics? Nicholas said, I know, dear. You scare me, though. I thought I lost you. Don't you ever do that again to me, alright? She said, oh, you almost did lose me. Oh, you have no idea. I'm about to scare you in the worst way possible, Nicholas. Gypsy said. Oh, I think I'm bipolar. Nicholas said, what? Baby, I don't want to lose you, though. And you told me that I could never lose you. Oh, now I worry that I will lose you, Gypsy said. Well, it's more. I would push you away until you walked away. I can't leave, but I can't make you leave. But I can make you leave, rather. Nicholas said, Baby, is that supposed to be comforting? She said, Well, in a way, yes, honey. Nicholas said, Please don't push me away too hard, honey. The roles have been reversed, see? Who's the master here? Gypsy, is there medication for bipolar, honey? Baby, I didn't let you take medication for that. Are you thinking it would help? She said, Well, oh God, I have a massive migraine. I'm not sure it would be the distance. Because I would have something to Wisconsin at night I met you. Gypsy said, You, Nicholas, so are you saying I will get better once we're in person? Yes, darling, that's exactly what I'm saying. Gypsy said, I still have mood swings, just not severe ones like tonight. He said, Baby, please say it because I'm worried still, and it would be nice to be comforted right now. She said, Sweetie, please don't be worried. I'm not going anywhere. Well, I'm going with you, but I meant I'm by your side, hon. The ups and downs will balance up once we are together in person. He said, You know what I want to do after tonight's scare, hon? Oh, well, Gypsy said, I know what you want to do. You want to have sex, don't you? And something within our arms? He said, Baby, do you remember the tangled posts I gave you a while ago? Oh, of course, honey. You wanna hit me with a frying pan? What? He said, I wanna do that, right? Just so I know you aren't going anywhere. Yes, the tangled posts, when both tied each other up. I wish I could, just so you would be stuck with me. You are something I cannot read. Kisses on your forehead. How, honey? We are light. Unclear message. Gypsy said, I might tie you up. Oh, is that right? Honey, I'm warning you though. You ever give me a scare like that in person, I will tie you up until I'm sure you aren't going anywhere. Constantly threatening to leave. Alrighty then, Nicholas said, because I want to make sure we never part. She said, Well, I won't do that in person. You're all I have in this life. And then I got two others after you. Gypsy said, Hi, sweetie. I got rest and I am myself again. Tuesday, the 2nd, 2015. I am 100,000% in, hon. Yeah, that's right. I am in on our plan. Since this is the only message, something happened between this time and this time. Right. Some indoctrination, possibly. Gypsy said, I am ready. He said, Why you say that, baby? She said, Because I have finally allowed myself to accept you are my everything. I will go with you and live our dream. Nicholas said, Okay, hon. Gypsy said, Darling, I am so sorry about last night. I am completely different. I am your woman. Okay, dear, Nicholas said. Gypsy said, and I will be truly your everything. Gypsy said, I know I've been up and down, Gypsy said, but darling, In 9 days, I am yours forever. So this is the plan, I guess. Nicholas said, true, hon. That's true, baby girl. She said, and yes, I am gonna fight like hell for us, baby. Do you forgive me, darling? No, he won't. I don't think he will forgive you, actually. Baby, you have a couple of questions to answer online. Gypsy said, please, please, read, hon. So she did answer it in exactly 6 minutes. Okay. Nicholas said, okay, there. Gypsy said, by the way, I trashed my old something and broken laptop. How about that? Gypsy said, so we can just use the computer together, honey. Nicholas said, there, I answered you. And what about all the memories on your computer, sweetie? I saved them, don't worry. I don't get it. You don't get it, do you? I cannot read what this previous one said, but then she got mad again. You don't get it, do you? Never mind. Oh, God. 1 minute passed. There, what the what? What the fuck? Gypsy said, you tried being there for you. I tried being there for you. But all you do is make me cry. I give everything for you, Gypsy said. And Nicholas said, well, I was trying to be nice while explaining myself. Then you say, that dear, that was uncalled for. Well, he said, explaining. Gypsy said, I always put my best. And you say 50% bullshit. He said, baby, I don't only make you cry. I have given you plenty of happy memories. She said, well, who puts up with your overbearing ways, your ridiculous political shit? Then he said, dear, I'm not trying to argue with you, so please stop. She said, well, I was in a romantic mood, but now you screwed that up too. Well, Nicholas, you piece of... Huh. He said, well, sorry, I'll leave you alone. You don't, but all you do is push me away. She said, sadly, 10 minutes app I wanted was a snuggle with you. He said, dear, just stop talking to me. You're only going to make things worse, since apparently now I know I can't open up to you just because that you keep bitching. She said, I opened up. I was what you wanted, and you pushed me away. He said, yeah, you told me to fuck off. I guess I'll be punching back then, right? She said, why couldn't you have just been loving? I'm sorry, hon. Oh, look, please don't. Something. Just try and understand. I was saying how much I need you. And you call me a faker. Nicholas said, I don't push you away. All I do was explain. And you told me fuck off. And that's how I feel. Then I guess I can't make you happy anymore. Sorry I'm a failure to you. Oh, she said, please, can we talk online? Please, we are going to be living together soon. Shouldn't we at least try to make this work? She said, you are safe from me. Now I did the right thing. He said, dear, I hope you come back. Well, you're free, sweetie. She said, you don't have a bitch of a girl now. He said, oh, free, yes, free. Free to die. Bye, my love. Gypsy said, Daddy, Daddy, crying. What do you mean? Question mark. Gypsy said, my love. Nicholas, answer me. I'll tell you, Ruby is going to come out real quick, she said. And then he said, no, that's not what she said. That's what I said. Well, Nicholas said, sweetie, if Bella doesn't come back, I don't want anyone else. I'll end it, and my darling daughter, just know that Daddy always worshipped you. Gypsy said, and what? I don't understand, Daddy. He said, I am gone. Bye, my everything. I'll miss you, and time to end it all. She said, wait, Daddy, wait. She said, please, end us? She said, you mean you won't be anymore? I don't know what that said. And then he said, what does my daughter want before I go to hell? She said, I want you to stay with me. You said you was coming to get me. He said, Bella doesn't want me, so no one will have me but her. So I will go to hell then, and I can't leave her. Gypsy said, she does want us. Gypsy said, she needs you. Oh, you have lots of girlfriends. You're handsome. He said, I'm done. Bye, my love. You say you need me, but you broke us off, so I cut myself off. If you don't stop me in time, because without you, I'm nothing. She said, are you threatening us? How are you doing that? You can't. What? To kill yourself, she said. Why? He said. Well, because if you do, then I will do it also. He said, well, then come back before I do it, because you know I always back up my words. She said, please, please, don't do it. Don't do it, my love. Please, please. I want you. Oh, but please, no, I'm bad for you. Oh, she said, please stay with me. He said, I'm about to put my blade on my wrist and let it bleed if you don't come back within the next 3 minutes, Nicholas said. Gypsy said, oh, I'm here, my love, I'm back, I'm sorry. She said, look, I'm going on Facebook now. He said, then I'll put the blade away for now, but please, I'll remind this as a warning. How about that? He said, you better get online if you mean what you're saying. She said, oh, hugs and kisses for the one I missed. And between this message and the next is approximately 2 hours. Okay, alright, Nick said. Lots of love. I'll give you 2 hearts on my cell phone, alright? Sweetie, I hope you are on soon because I am missing you. We now go on to about 3 hours later. Darling, I'm missing you too. Just let me take a small nap, okay, baby? Gypsy said, and then Nicholas said, okay, sweetie, sweet dreams, my darling. Gypsy said, darling, I'm on now, but I'll read a message sent to our joint account. It is your cousin. Gypsy said, he wants to go fishing. He said, okay, sweetie, we go on the next day, June the 3rd, 2015. We wake up at approximately 4:42 p.m. Hi, darling, Gypsy said. I am so sorry, but I fell asleep last night without telling you goodbye. Good night. He said, oh, that's all right, honey. That's fine. We can live with that. He said, I have noticed on that you're a lot less often online than you used to be, dear. She said, well, I explained that, honey. I'm on right now. He said, okay, sweetie. That was not an interesting day with only 6 messages. We go on June 4th. Gypsy is sending lots of hugs and kisses. Oh, thank you, he said. That's sweetie. You're my sweetie. Gypsy said, good afternoon, darling. He said, good afternoon, sweetie. Gypsy said, oh my God, I had so many sex dreams of you last night. God, he said. Of all different kinds, darling? Oh, yes, she said. Wow. Okay, sweetie, that's good. She said, oh, warning, I'm a bit in a sexual mood. He said, oh, God, are you serious? Me too. No, that's not what he said. Hurry, you could be on a top-notch sexual mood throughout our life together, and it wouldn't bother me at all. Oh, so you know, Gypsy said. Good, darling. You're gonna need the energy. He said, what do you say that? Why do you say that? You bigot, hun. Why is she saying you bigot? Something? She said, message for you. Massage or message? Right, okay, let's get ourselves together here. He said, baby, I'm already on. He said, I had to restart my computer, dear. The energy was too much. She said, okay, darling. I guess they went on their little rampage outside of text messaging. And then Friday, June the 5th, Gypsy said, darling, what color restaurant do you want? Black or pink? Or restraints? Oh, are you talking about restraints here? That's something else. Okay, defendant. That is, of course, Nicholoas. He said, oh dear, we are collecting them. But you get the black ones, sweetie. Okay, darling. That is so cool. June the 6th, Gypsy said, honey, I was wondering. Wow. Say I wanted to have sex with a guy before leaving town. Just a little make you jealous kind of message. Could I do it? Just a curious question, lol. Oh, okay, so I know you're territorial, but I'm being tempted sexually. Oh, are you kidding me? She's being tempted. That's interesting. And then she said, darling, can we talk online, please? I'm guessing you're napping. She's not getting an answer. That's interesting. This message for her doing the I make you jealous thing, 257, 258. And he's not having it. He's not answering her bullshit conversation. She said, darling, can you please come online? But then he didn't. Oh, I thought you wasn't getting my text, hon, she said at 4:46, a lot of hours later. And then he said, wow, I was. I didn't hear them though, darling, since my phone was on vibrate. She said, here. He agreed to meet me. We are gonna get a coffee at his cupcake place Thursday, so that we'll close that. So it is a public place. So all good, hon. He said, there, I still told you to be around in the area of it. Make sure he doesn't do anything, and you have to accept that. Okay, darling. Ah, well. And then she said, what time does our bus leave Thursday, hon? He said, 6:13, dear. He said, or I may be off few minutes. Okay, hon. I found the hopper. That's good news. Gypsy said, well, I miss you, hon, so much. Oh, my heart is racing. I miss you, hon, so much. My heart. He said, what is your heart racing? Why is that? And then she said, well, because I can't wait to see you. He said, then we feel much better. Darling, I have an important message. Well, we are not going to share this important message through via text messaging. Obviously. Right, June 7th, 2015. Gypsy starts off by saying, darling, I was caught on my phone, but made my mom think I was during her phone. Oh my god, she was caught by her mom. so I have to lay low until Wednesday. He says, okay dear, just try to text me when you can. Okay baby, we can talk on Skype. She said, please. Okay baby, he said, June the 8th. Right, he said, sweetheart, I just wanted to say that I am missing you and also that I love, adore and worship you, my everything. Gypsy said, darling, I'm so worried. I didn't say goodnight. I was made to sleep on the front porch with bugs. She said, So she said, it can be done even by me, but I won't unless I have to. So you see, this is not an operation, changing the tube. So if she's saying she has lots of operations, these are not one of them. She said, I missed you, baby. He said, I missed you too, sweetheart. And then he said, hurry. Oh, honey, sorry, I didn't answer right away. I don't feel it vibrate, dear. He said, dear, I guess you are either busy or not online anymore. He said, I guess you aren't able to keep me company right now. I hope you're back soon, because I'm already missing you, hon. Oh, hi, sweetie, she said, I'm here. She said, I just ate and took a bath, honey. So, what do you mean? She just ate. Okay, but I guess you had a tube and you couldn't eat, but she ate. Alright. That's very interesting. And then Gypsy said, are you listening to your iPod, hon? He said, yay, I'm glad you are. LOL. And then he said, well, okay, baby, I just wanting for texts from you and paying attention to my surrounding. She said, okay, sweetie, but well, I was able to make peace with Mom. He said, I knew you would. I believed that you would. Oh, and you could find the time. Gypsy said, I feel better. I just can't believe you're like in Missouri, and it is so ever something in a good way. He said, I hope in a good way, hon. She said, yes, darling, in a great way, hon. I feel so excited. He said, I'm glad we feel mutually about the situation, darling. She said, well, tomorrow? Oh, it's the last night we sleep alone. He said, true, baby. However, I'm going to pay for nights separately. Okay, hon, he said. So the night you come to the hotel is another separate night from tomorrow. Darling, as you know, I'm trying to save as much money as I can, he said. She said, I know, baby, and oh, you don't need to pay for me to sleep with you at the hotel. You'll sneak with us. I will sneak with us. He said, I know, dear, that's what I plan on doing. She said, okay, hon. He said, dear, don't deny if you even knew that was what it was planning on doing. She said, well, yeah, I am your girlfriend, darling. Bring me back to your hotel, wink, wink. Oh, with pleasure. Oh, with pleasure. I guess you are... Yeah, I can't read it. I guess you aren't able to keep me company right now again. I hope you're back soon because I'm already missing you again, hon. It has been 10 minutes. Okay. I'm back, she said. Oh, nice. Nice way to come back, sweetie. And now we go to Tuesday, June the 9th. Thanks for the laugh, dear. Gypsy said, hi. I can't help it. I'm your sweetie. He said, well, then, would a sweetie like a sweetie? Well, she said, I would, sweetie. He said, then ask Daddy politely, sweetheart. She said, May I have Daddy's sweetness, please? He said, yes, you are my dear, but warning. Once you taste, you won't want anything. You'll be so addicted to it. Anything else? Well, she said, well, I am with being Daddy's little addict. That's Daddy's girl, he said. She said, LOL. He said, why the laughter, hon? You don't know what's coming. She said, well, 'cause I'm happy. And then he said, well, that's very great. Very great indeed. LOL and kisses, sweetness, I'm gonna take my meal. Again another meal. Well, fine. He said, update. I'm in St. Louis. Okay, I'm going to be away to Springfield. Update, sweetheart, I'm on my way to Springfield. Not very interesting. Why is that, hon? Well, because I want to know why. Alright. I hope it is a good reason, dear. Or you'll worry me. Please tell me some soon, honey. You didn't need me worried about you. Darling, it's 'cause we're happy. Okay, perfectly wonderful. Okay, dear, I was scared for a moment there. Oh, but now, blissful. He said, true, baby. I'm getting close. So, my darling, what are they getting close to? Well, could be that. Yeah, you nasty little listener. Alright, great. And now we're going to go to this one. Nah, I'll just get it at the hotel, sweetie. Okay, darling, well, check back later. I may sleep for a bit. I think you get to town at 5:15. He said, okay, baby, you know I'll keep you updated. Well, she said, darling, I don't think the hotel takes check-ins until 11. He said, no, they do. I'll just have to pay a bit more, honey. You don't know that. You're my daughter. You have no idea about these things that adults know. Oh, yeah, that's good. And then she said, by the way, the taxi number is, well, okay, that's very good. Jess, yes, sweetie, 3, and I am walking to the hotel. I've done it before, and it saves money, but thanks for the number, though. And then he said he's in Springfield. She said, yay, and then I was asleep, and the hotel number, and yes, sweetie, but it was extra expensive, so, well, fine. And then he said, I'm safe, hon, but I may barely make it to you tomorrow. I am something $200. You make it how much it is a night? I don't know what it says, so forget about it. You're not far from it, maybe 4. Oh, very unclear. Well, I had to pay $160 for one night because I was something dear. Unless you want to do it tonight, like the late part of the night. What? Well, it's the only way to get money and everything go like we planned. Well, he said 50 of the dollars I should get back, though, because it is a safe deposit, hon. It all matters on the soonest you want to see me, hon, he said. She said, tonight, hon, your mom is like pissed and worried. Call her. She said she messaged me to get you to call her now. He said, I already talked to her, dear. Everything is fine. You need to answer my question, though, honey. She said, well, I will text you. We are doing this tonight, huh? It won't be until later, like in the AM times. Oh, to get your rest, honey, he said. Baby, should I still get the room tomorrow? She said. Well, we would have more money, so yes, hon, he said. What about? Sneaking you in there, she said. I will, hon. Since we are then criminals, you might as well sneak me in. I am not forbidden from your room, he said. You mean we will dare? He said, baby, you won't be. And then she said, yes, we will, hon. Do you bring your computer, hon? If you look up where you're at in my house, we are close. Honey, you know I always bring my computer. And then she said, okay, good. Hon, I just told your mom just perfectly fine. He said, that's good, dear. And then she said, hon, does he require just the gloves and the knife? Well, Nicholas, I will rephrase the question. Does your evil side require just the gloves and the knife? Hon, that side of me expects duct tape too. To muffle her. Okay, baby, we have that. And since I'm doing the planning, I will pre-cut it. He said, that's good, dear. However, he expects you to give him the full role. You sneaky little... Yes. And then she said, well, I will only have something. Bondage tape and a mouse duct tape. He said, the Minnie Mouse duct tape, hon. Right? Okay, hon. He said, well, dear, I should ask you this before he has to. Is your mom a light or a deep sleeper? She said, a light sleeper, hon. Alright, he said, that's now. He is excited. She said, she always sleeps on her tummy. And I said, but like I said, a light sleeper. She said, this shit's gonna go down tonight, baby. Huh. Ruby said this. This shit's gonna go down tonight. Or am I making myself clear? Oh, what does she mean by that, dear? Please let me know as soon as you can. It means it all happens tonight. Well, Nicholas said, how does Ruby feel about it, hon? Well, she keeps me numb in order to cope and survive. Well, she's keeping me focused too, though. And then he said, okay, dear, I guess she seems to know how to deal with it slowly then. Deal with him, rather, his evil side. She said, well, for motivation's sake, bring your A game. Yeah, I don't really know. This is life with me and on the line. It's life with me on the line, alright? So, she said, yes, hon. Each part is a slow lover and learner, maybe not Candy. He said, baby, it's my evil side doing it. He won't mess up because he enjoys killing. And then he said, why you say that about Candy, dear? She loves it. Well, he said, so she'll attack onto him instantly, dear. Yes, I mean, my dumb side, dear. Gypsy said, exactly, hon. He said, okay, baby, as long as it's only to him and she would use other guys, or he will see to put her in her place quickly, dear. She said, that's right, hon. He said, good, dear. He said, baby, please make sure to read the last message and answer it, please. She said, hi, sweetie. Just checking in. He said, yes, dear. Hi. I missed you. He said, guess you didn't have an answer to me. This night is going by slow. She said, I'm preparing. He said, I see. She said, I don't know what that means, he says, but then he says, I say this because obviously you're busy. Gypsy said, LOL, okay baby. He said, why the laughter? I don't get it. I don't get your silly ways, Gypsy. And then he said, no explanation I see today is really all. Today is really falling apart. Obviously you are not lonely without me as I am without you, because you are not truly communicating with me and you have no clue how painful it is to me, or you wouldn't be laughing at me. She said, Gypsy said, darling, I am getting in the tub. I was only excelled. Well, she was in the tub, obviously. I'm not laughing, I'm just happy. I am in the tub, honey. And then he said, sorry dear, I guess I'm just missing you too much. It's overwhelming me. She said, I left the gloves outside the front door and the screen door is squeaky, so try to open it just enough to get it in and close it gently. Well, this of course is incriminating information. She said, I miss you too soon, sweetheart, she said. I'll hand him the knife and the duct tape inside, darling. It is pre-cut already. She said, does your mom think about me going back with you, hon? He said, Dear, you're telling all of this to my evil sides, and he is the one who agreed to do this. Dear, I was open to her about that a long time ago, and she is letting me make life decisions by myself without you, hon. She trusts me. So he said that she made this comment, and it was his evil side, and then 2 minutes later, he just was able to answer it. Right. And then he said, she just doesn't know the full plan, of course, obviously there. He said, does the floor squeak, hon? He wanted me to ask you that. And then she said, no, hon, it's all carpet. Well, tell him my private parts are shaved. And then he said, okay, baby, he's excited to do this. What about the rest of your bottom half? Is that what he had? That's what he had me ask you. She said, well, I will do my legs as soon as he knocks, hon. And then he said, okay, baby, don't be harmed if he speaks, because yes, it sounds evil, hon. She said, okay, darling, I'm gonna something, hon. He said, that's daddy's good, girl. And then she said, I'm doing myself too, or I don't know. Well, he did say that he wants you to look like his woman, so that's a good idea. Well, something red fingernail polish, she said. He said, dear, to please him, I suggest you wear red lipstick too. And they're just trying to help you out, baby. She said, well, I don't have any. Honey, I am painting my nails. She said, it's going with my... I cannot read it, please, sorry. Lip gloss, hon. Probably think if you want him to be a magnet to you. Well, pink makes him magnet to you, dear, he said. She said, I have pink. That's good, he said. If you want him to be a magnet to you, you should wear it, dear. She said, okay, hon, and then he said, so, will your hon, how do you wish to present yourself to him? He said, answer that question once you have the chance to, dear, and as long as you answer it. That's what I said, yes. Honey, you still haven't answered that question, and I am still waiting. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll just be in my nightgown with my painted pink nails and lip gloss. And then he said, okay, dear, but when he gets you from the bathroom, suggest you are naked when he sees you after the deed. Okay, darling. Of course, I will do that. I will be naked after you killed my mother. I won't say goodnight online. I want to say it in person. It is really something, huh? He said, that's understandable, darling. Along with our first real goodnight kiss, she said, exactly, Daddy. He said, oh, that never gets old when you call me Daddy, sweetheart. She said, you should get some sleep. And, hon, Mom goes to bed at like 4 a.m. He said, honey, I got too much sleep already. She said, okay, honey. Gypsy said, I will wear you out, he said. Well, hon, don't forget, you got to deal with the evil side first before we have our fun. So he may wear you out, because if you forget, he is the most sexual part of me. Looks like he predicted that she has a deal with the devil. Okay, and then he said, please don't forget that, dear, when then I wear you out even more, honey. She said, okay, darling, I understand. He said, I am glad you do, baby. I'm enjoying just being able to touch your silky skin. And then she said, well, I can't wait to be with you too, darling, but if you want to wait for sex, we have all day tomorrow, just so you know. You know, it is very simple to just say, you know what, we pack our bags, get all the freaking money we can get from our mother, and just go out of town and never return again. What's the problem with that? Well, that's of course not as fun. Or, that was bad. Bert's decisions. He said, okay, well, Gypsy said, you know, after my something. He said, honey, your nickname as a couple, Miss and Mr. Sex. Wow. He said, well, nothing wrong with that at all. You can have that nickname and just don't do it. So what do you think I'm thinking, dear? And then she said, I know what you're thinking, hon. She said, you'll have me as much as you can. You can do what you want. He said, darling, see, we're going to our nicknames as a couple, hon. Well, what's your name? My name is Mr. Sex. Okay, that's fine. You'll have your driver's license tomorrow. He says, okay, because I know you won't want me. Okay, that's not what it says. It says, because I know you won't want it in any other way. Right there? I guess you are not here, hon. Hope you're back, she said, right, darling? But can we take our time, hon? He said. We will be able to at the hotel, sweetheart. Oh, good, sweetheart. I hope I look pretty for you. He said, honey, you will always look appealing to me. And then she said, I hope, hon. I am nervous. I guess it's the if all goes okay. He says, baby, it will, and you better. The not just romantic wife of mine, but also the twin flame female daughter soulmate that you were meant to be, honey. She said, I am, Daddy, just as a backup. If it doesn't go right, I'm out of the house as fast as you can, hon. Actually, I was planning to just stay there and see what happens after that. But thanks for the tip, Gypsy. I will leave if it all goes bad. He said, baby, there is no other option. He's going to finish her no matter what. That is how he is. That's what you wanted. So, then Gypsy said, okay, darling, so he is very brave. I respect and admire that he can just kill on command. That's so romantic. Well, and then he said, okay, darling, I respect and admire that again. How is the bed? Is it sad, hon? I mean soft, not sad. And then he said, honey, you forgot that he is ruthless, and his hatred of her will force her to die, honey. You get it already? Huh, you will enjoy it, baby, she said. What will you be wearing, honey? Tell me rather something about what you will be wearing rather than the act. Well, he said, something that will terrify her. It is a black, and my evil side picked the full outfit, darling. She said, okay, darling, I just have to remember it. Oh, he said, well, it's getting annoying, but yes, just the darkness in me, dear. Just like Ruby is the darkness in you, honey. She said, but after we comfort each other, let's romanticize this whole thing and just be Bonnie and Clyde. And then he said, after we do that, sweetheart, I'll hold you like the baby girl of your mind that you are. Well, it's very obvious, don't you think? And then she said, well, and we will be happy soon after the night. And this, well, and then we just never bring it up again. Of course, in this she's right. She will never bring that up again because she's not allowed to talk to him. He said, baby, we wouldn't accept for the part about us meeting honey. That's right, she said. And then he said, I know we were something on the right something. He said, I cannot read it, forgive me. And then he said, right tone. Yeah, that was a tone, he said. Sorry for the confusion, honey, but I hope you know what I meant. Hopefully you answer. Good night. We go on Wednesday, 10th of June. Gypsy start off the conversation at 1:08 a.m. I know what you mean, honey. It's getting close to the time. She'll look her asleep. Did, please. That's what she said. And then he said, okay, baby, I'm trying to calculate the money for the ride there. Gypsy said, and once you are inside the house, we start silent, not even whisper, until after I open the bathroom door, okay, sir? Okay, hon, she said, probably $10. He said, dear, never underestimate his will to kill, and also give your address, so I make sure I have the right here. This is very sad. He is willing to put his complete life on the line for her, and only to want to be together, right? But that's very sad. Well, Gypsy said, I just want to say thank you. You are my, well, and I will never leave you. I am staying with you for eternity. Gypsy said, 2103 West Way, Springfield. He said, okay, baby. Okay, dear. Thank you. She said, my house has the red and front porch is painted white. He said, okay, dear. She said, about the place she's living. I am proud of you, sweetie, and I am glad I could help. She said, well, you need an anxiety med to calm me down after? Gypsy said, you are the most important person to me, sweetie. You are like me. Fight for us. Oh, that's what I need and want, he said. Dear, I don't believe in meds. In me, I seem to be immune to them, but you just do what you thought I will calm you down if it is me, but just listen and obey my evil side, and you will calm him down with it. There, I don't believe in meds. Yeah, that's the same one again. We go to the next one. Gypsy said, I hope he loves me. Oh, I'm not just Ruby. I hope he loves me. Gypsy said, I got pain meds for my back and I exercised my legs too. I'm a bit weak walking, but I built strength. See, she was not all bound to the wheelchair. She was able to walk and even build some strength in the meantime. He said, no, you mean to say you're like Daddy? It could be part of why you're Daddy's good girl. But you're more like Daddy than you may realize, dear. I'm not used to my own weight and walking, and gravity is new. LOL, he says, I believe in you, honey, as I always have, so I know somebody. And someday you will walk completely normal. And yes, that's exactly what she did. She is walking perfectly fine now. And he is unfortunately not. Gypsy said, I just realized the next New Year's I'll be able to kiss you. And like I never kissed you before. Well, and then she said, I need to practice kissing. We are like two fish going for one hug. She said, she is drifting off to sleep. Is there anything else you need to know, hon? He said. And as for him loving you, my evil side does, however, you must obey him without question unless you don't know what to do otherwise. Obey him without question there, and someday he will worship you. That's not the way it works, you see. You see, it's not that the master is going to worship his slave, is it? No, that's wrong. But that's of course out of the question. He says, baby, we are natural at kissing. We just need time to prove it. And then she said, will he allow me to? There, when he rapes, he takes all parts of the body, so he'll most likely do anal to you, hon. He's still going to put the gloves on there. Will he at least put saliva so it doesn't get traumatized, hon? You are asking too many questions, Gypsy. That's to the evil side to decide whether he will or will not do that. But for your information, remember to take my words to heart, dear. Just listen and obey him without question, and still you're questioning. That's not what you're supposed to be doing, and he won't traumatize you. But if you aren't a good girl, he will. Then do it. Just depends on how well you listen to him, darling. It's going to be fine, okay? She said, well, no matter what, I'm yours forever. He said, okay, and thanks for answering the question, hon. Should I call the cab? She says, I love you and adore you and worship you. He says, at approximately 1:42 a.m., I understand, dear. I am the same. I love, adore, and worship you too. He said, okay, baby, I'll see you soon, dear. And then she says, by the way, the gloves are blue. And how long must I hold my ears, hon? 5 at the most, dear. And the next text will be from him. She says, okay, darling, we talk. I'll talk when this is all done. Yes, hon. Gypsy said, sir, will you text me once you're at the door with gloves on? She said, she's slippery very night. He said, I am, dear, and you get your ass to the bathroom when you open the door. She said, yes, sir, I'm going now, sir. She says, breathe once. That's a very interesting last text message, to breathe once. Right? Like your last breath.